and welcome to another episode of the Packet Educational Video Series. Today we are going to look at page 2-2, No Stone Unturned. So the purpose of this page and the video today is to introduce the 4 fundamental or essential strokes and how page 2-2 develops those strokes, whether in a beginner setting or a middle school setting or even a high school setting. Now, these 4 strokes that we're going to talk about today are the 4 strokes that I teach first. So they're not the only essential strokes, but in terms of the starting 4 strokes that I teach, this would be them. And so I use this page as a way to develop those strokes from the very beginning. All right, the first stroke that we're going to look at today is the legato stroke. The legato stroke is also called the rebound stroke or the bounce stroke. And the legato stroke basically means that when I hit the pad or hit the playing surface, my stick or my mallet's going to bounce back up or rebound back up and end in the up position versus back down in playing position. When I play this stroke or any of my strokes, I'm going for a floppy wrist. I want to maintain my proper playing position form. I want to keep any extra tension out of my grip and out of my body. So I'm only going to use the amount of tension needed to play correctly. Anything past that is excessive tension and it will just ruin your sound quality. So we don't want any extra tension built into our playing. So legato stroke, the rebound stroke. I start in playing position. I hit the pad and the stick bounces off the pad and rebounds back up. So when I finish a legato stroke, I'm actually finishing up away from the pad because since the stick had rebound, it could not have ended back down in playing position. Okay, the next stroke we're going to look at is the staccato stroke. The staccato stroke is basically the same as a controlled stroke or a downstroke, depending on what you call it. I call it a staccato stroke. And this means that when the stroke strikes the pad, it stops moving. So it's the stroke with no rebound. Now, when I hit the pad, my goal on the staccato stroke is to use as little muscle as possible to do it correctly. And actually, I don't squeeze or add any extra tension into my grip when I play staccato strokes than I would for legato strokes. Because my goal is that I want all these strokes to sound the same. So when I mix them in with music, you're not hearing different sound qualities pop out off of the instrument. So if I'm playing a legato stroke that's nice and relaxed with rebound, then when I play my staccato stroke, it needs to be also nice and relaxed with no rebound. So the same sound comes from 2 different strokes. That's my goal. So staccato means stop. The third stroke we're going to look at is what we call the tap. The tap is any 3-inch stroke. It doesn't necessarily have to be a legato stroke. It doesn't have to be a staccato stroke. It's just any stroke played at 3 inches. So I can play legatos or staccatos at 3 inches. And the last stroke that we start with is what I call the upstroke. And that is the stroke that actually starts down and ends up. And the thing you'll notice about this stroke is it sounds like a tap, but ends like a full stroke. And so since I'm playing a tap, but I want to end up for my next hit, there's no rebound that's going to get me up there. So I have to use my own muscle to create the rebound. So by lifting the stick up, it's the upstroke. 2-2, no stone unturned. So the first patterns are a hit on the downbeat, right hand then left hand of each stroke. So I'm going to do 2 legatos, 2 staccatos, 2 taps, and 2 ups. Here we go. And the idea was both of my legato and staccato should have sounded the same, and both of my taps and upstrokes should have sounded the same. Even though they function differently, it's the same sound. So I'm getting 2 sounds out of 4 strokes. And the purpose of this is to isolate each one of those strokes so that when you put them all together, you're still playing the perfect version of that one stroke, even when they're mixed in with other strokes. You can also do the first section by taking out of rest in each measure. So instead of 4/4, it becomes 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I would repeat that. The next version would be 2/4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I would repeat that one. And the goal here is to keep taking away rests until you're doing it straight through. And that way you don't have time to think about what's coming next. You just get it to happen naturally. So there's legato, legato, staccato, staccato, tap, tap, up, up. And then we do that again. And I'm trying to get 2 sounds out of those 4 strokes. Okay, looking at the next section, we have 2 hits, 1, 2. And the way it's broken down is in the first pattern, they're both legato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do a staccato tap for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then tap, tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up, legato, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll put all that together. And just like the other patterns, I can start removing rests. So I can start doing it in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I can remove all the rests. And when I'm doing that, I'm trying to make sure that all the legatos are really legatos, the staccatos are really staccatos. I'm not letting them start mixed together and change each other as I get it more complicated. Okay, the next section has a 3-hit combo. So 3 legatos, and then again, then accent tap tap, accent tap tap, tap tap tap, tap tap tap, tap tap up, legato, tap up, legato. So in that one, the upstroke is thrown in the middle of a tap, an up, and then my legato. So let's do the 3 patterns. Good. And then like before, I can remove rests. And then no rest at all. All right, and then the last one is the 4 hits pattern. So I have 4 legatos, or then 1 staccato and 3 taps, or all taps, or then I do a tap, upstroke, legato, staccato. Okay, so let's do those. And in the last one, I'm trying to do a combination of all 4 strokes together. So tap, up, legato, staccato. Tap, up, legato, staccato. Okay? Or you could always do it as just tap, up, legato, legato, tap, up, legato, legato. That works just as well. But the goal is to remove the rests so you have more rapid fire thinking, and to make sure every single stroke is the correct version of itself. So here's the last pattern, the fours with no rests. Or I could throw the staccato at the end. And again, 2 sounds for 4 strokes. No matter how much I mix them together, I want each stroke to be a perfect example of itself. Now, when you're playing through 2-2, with your beginner class, you may not make it all the way to the 4s with no rests in there. Like that could be something that you don't get to until later on in their development, middle school or even high school. But you can for sure take the concept of No Stone Unturned and the very first part of the page and work that starting with your beginner class. This is also a great exercise in the high school level because we'll add drill to it. We'll be outside marching in a parking lot. We'll do box drills. We'll do back and forth. We'll do all kinds of drill while putting the No Stone Unturned into their hands. And that way they have to focus on multiple responsibilities between feet and movement and stroke type. Because that's exactly what they're going to have to do once they're out on the field or on the floor with their drumline music. All right, so the 4 essential strokes that I use for starting off percussion: legato, staccato, tap, and upstroke. And a great way to use 2-2 is to develop those 4 strokes. All right, hope that makes sense. Jump into 2-2 and really get those 4 strokes going so we can add to them next time for more advanced stuff. Grab your sticks, grab your pad, and get to practicing. Good luck.